Good afternoon from a slightly windy £5 haircut, few clouds, no rain, a little bit chilly, and to keep Law Magro happy, Peterborough. Why is it that when we discuss ponds and we say to each other, well, the warmest part of the pond is the deepest part of the pond, which is there, but all the fish are here, until I disturbed them. Anyway, the fish are doing fine. The flicking and flashing has reduced right down, so has the feeding. We're going to be messing about with wildlife ponds today. We look a little bit dusty. How's that? Is that better for you? So here we are. Thank you for everybody that put forward suggestions about how I could do the perimeter of this pond. Concrete footings were mentioned, but like I said, this ground is constantly on the move, cockling, tipping, breaking. The concrete ring wouldn't last 3 months before it were all shattered. So I had to think of something that was flexible. So got these 32mm fittings, pipework, and just for the benefit of Jill and John Wayside Koi, look at these bad boys. No dropping bricks on my toes. Anyway, keep up the good work, guys. So this is going to be a absolute success to a point where people will be cheering my name in the street, or it's going to be an absolute disaster. But first of all, got to get the bricks off. I'll be back with you. So that is all the bricks off. I've got a massive overlap, so I'm going to have to cut that down to about half. And the idea is to put a piece of pipe underneath here and tuck this section back down behind the pipe to create a solid ring. Like I said, it'll either work or it won't. So this is where we are now. As you can see, I've taken the 32mm pipe and the 135° fittings and a 90 and created a not so informal shape, but it's not too bad. So now I just need to backfill with earth, and I've got plenty there, so I'll get the shovel out. So then you get to this stage. I've backfilled around the 32mm pipe. It's not exactly level, but it doesn't need to be. So after backfilling, I'll give it a couple of weeks for the ground to settle, and then I will backfill again, and then hopefully there will only be a small amount of liner seen, and then we get some marginal plants, plant them here, and they hang over the edge and sort of break up the rigidity of it. Well, that's the science, hopefully. Alright, I'll put the bridge back and I'll do a final video. There they all are, 2:30, all up at the top. Maybe it's a bit warmer at the top. A couple of shout outs. John Rodway, very nice gesture in the comments, and offered us some polycarbonate, but sadly we had to decline because of the distance involved. But very kind offer, John. Do appreciate it, and if we're ever in your neck of the woods, I'll try and contact you then. Another shout out, and I do apologise, this should have gone out a few weeks ago, but it's what I do. Bit of a mixed bag of what goes on this channel, but have a look, give him a bit of support, cheer him on, as they say. Right, I'm just about finished here. Sorry for spinning the camera around. I don't like shaky camera, moving camera. But the plan is, these are the wildlife pond plants that we took out, basically because they were just floating. So the idea is to get some very large pots, shake off all the earth, put them in the pot, those holy ones, this type, get some really large versions of that, and just chuck a load of aquatic gravel in and pin them to the floor. Right, let's take you around the wildlife pond and I'll try and explain, that means bluff, what I've got planned. So as you can see, the water level needs to come up, so it's not too far away from where I want it. I've backfilled some soil here, and in fact all the way around, put a couple of stepping stones in, as you do. Around this side, so I've got my air stones running. So I'm going to allow the soil to settle, and then again backfill it using what was a mountain of soil, which is now reduced quite nicely actually. Cat will be happy with that, so we'll be able to plant stuff in, but that needs a good raking over. So basically leave this for a few days, backfill it again until it's compressed, so when you actually walk on it there's not an awful lot of movement. Yes, it's not the strongest pond edging that you can do, but like I keep stressing, all this area, due to this massive tree, is very unstable. Roots moving, wind, all this, it's forever on the move, so we can't do much with it. So the fact that we've just put some 32mm tube in just to give us some kind of edge, I don't think that's too bad. I call these gazing balls because you gaze in them. Just got to fill my bird feed, my bird bath, and then we'll call that a draw. I don't think that's too bad. I had my knee pads on, health and safety at work. By the way, I was health and safety rep for Coca-Cola, and their policy was, if you don't look after yourself and stay safe, you get binned. So we all stayed safe, so I'm quite happy with that. So the edges of the pond, hopefully we'll get some marginals just to break up the horrible lines and make it more wildlifey, is that a word? And more natural, and I'll be absolutely thrilled with that. Come summertime, when Mother Nature takes over, hopefully she does a good job. Well, before I forget, put the hedgehog bridge back in, just in case poor hedgehog falls in, it can clamber back out again. For those nature lovers amongst us. Right, one question that I thought I'd just throw in, something myself and Kat were discussing the other day, is why people have koi fry. Why do you buy koi fry? There's going to be lots of answers. Clearly you want to grow them on. Clearly it could be another arm of the hobby, something to keep you going through the winter time maybe. But when they're grown to a decent size, do you sell them on? Do you give them away? Do you put them in your own pond and move some others out? What do you do? Just let me know in the comments. That's not that I'm going to get a fry pond or anything like that. But myself and Kat were fascinated over people growing koi fry. Adam Julian, people buying from Adam Bayer, Wayside Koi, loads of others. I can't name them at the moment, but let us know in the comments. Upcoming videos, a lot of people have been messaging me with how do I make my koi channel, or my channel, more popular? How can I get more subscribers, more viewers? What content do I need? And myself and Nige from Our Koi Life and Terry Wright, plus a host of others, all sat down at different times to discuss what we enjoy and what we don't enjoy, but rather than just put a thumbs down, why we don't enjoy it. We'll come back to that. So we'll do an in-depth look at that. And I also want to do a follow-up to a video that I did months ago. My koi pond advice before you start to build. So what I'm going to do now, and it's just based on my own experiences, is my koi pond advice before you, what's the word, upgrade. So my koi pond excuse me, my koi pond advice before you upgrade. So if you've already got an existing pond and you want to make it bigger, I'm basically going to put a load of stuff down, video format, of where I made improvements and perhaps still didn't get it perfect as I stand here now, even though I'm thoroughly happy with what I've got. That's the Americans, show of force, sorry for the noise. So in the meantime, 2 jabs, 1 flu jab, 1 booster, look after your family, stay safe, and goodbye.